Look at me go, look at me flex, that's not a plane, more like a jet. I heard the song, we ain't impressed, then she heard me, now she undressed. To make it all worse, I got a check. You want a verse, double the check. I wanted this, then I got this, so when I want that, I'ma get that. This how I look when you threaten and kill it. I gave a warning and they didn't listen. I'm at the ceiling, that's independent. She in the feelings and that's when they finish. I've been around in your cities and states, I taking down on your biddies today. I want a crown for the busiest days, you just a clown with your minimum wage, word. This how I go and you pop it, this how I go and you hot. Funnier now and I drop it, none of the numbers can drop. She be on me and that's true, but I'ma go finish on top. You get what you want when you pop it, you do what you want when you hot. This how I go when you pop it, this how I go when you hot. Funnier now when I drop it, none of the numbers can drop. She be on me and it's true, but I'ma go finish on top. You get what you want when you pop it, you do what you want when you hot. I just spit quick, but the lines are slick. Get them on a regular like which one hits. Made it on a regular don't sound like this, but it still hits. I don't miss, I just go, go, go like a go-go flow. And I'm almost known, and I told you so. When I throw these flows like slow Shimbo, and I ain't too close, it's Joe Smo goes. And I'm not in the middle when I'm hot with a riddle, and I got just a minute when I stop. And the pivot I got is a mission you not. And the one that's on top, go the distance you flop. There's a difference, I'm on my grind. That is all the time. I do not do breaks. That's right, I stay in dry. And look, I'm back with a little bit of that and a little more cash than it came in with. Ready, that cat is out that bag, but I still ask you, the boy got skills. I don't need her, I don't need him, I don't need help with me, I got this. I can sing songs, I can spit raps, and I can do both, even do this, word. This how I go and you pop it, this how I go and you hot. Funnier now and I drop it, none of the numbers can drop. She be on me and that's true, but I'ma go finish on top. You get what you want when you pop it, you do what you want when you hot. This how I go when you pop it, this how I go when you hot. Funnier now when I drop it, none of the numbers can drop. She be on me and it's true, but I'ma go finish on top. You get what you want when you pop it, you do what you want when you hot.
I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself. I don't need you, I do it myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
I bet on myself. I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Okay, dream so big that they think I'm crazy. Let out the beast, no, they can't tame me. Don't play with me, better mind your business. I cannot stop now, I ain't finished. I'ma keep on going till I got that. Okay, the way that I'ma do it, they can't top that. No way. Critics trying to hate, but I don't talk back, I know that. Plotting on the kid with the bull, tell him all that. I'm the one that I'ma gamble on, I ramble on. I'm about to get my ramble on. And I'm the one that really can't get a handle on. And when they see the Mr. Boy, they get a tantrum on. And
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to Designated Spittaz. And you know, I'm happy about this, Francis. You made a great move, by the way. A great call by pushing this to today. I think it was a brilliant move. I really do.
Oh, the stove is hot. We kind of, sometimes even when we switch it up, man, we just be right on time. I'm just saying, it's kind of dope how that works out, bro.
I tell you what, man, we got the game on lock, baby. It is the U in full effect for the U. Degeneration U. I'm surprised nobody. I'm shocked nobody's like hit me up with like a logo on that one yet. The Degeneration U. By the way, we have my brother Tony's working on it. Tony's always working. Tony Rivera's always working.
I don't know.
So he made a great design for Bocce Master of Bella Vista. And by the way, folks, that shirt is on the way. He sent it over to me. I did a little editing on it, and it is absolutely phenomenal. So get ready for that, folks. Bocce Master of Bella Vista. The t-shirt is on the way. Get ready for community awards. That is on the way. You guys get to vote on that. So that's coming here very, very soon. I had to look at last year's and kind of plan it out. By the way, I got to ask a question to the chat here.
Yes,
I
sir.
know Uncle Dom is a rookie, but who else is a rookie this year?
Ooh, that is a tough question.
Macho won it last year. He won Rookie of the Year last year. Well deserved.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid.
I know it's Uncle
season.
Dom, but I'm like sitting here thinking, I'm like,
What's the competition?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, who's the comp for Uncle Dom? I don't want to just hand the award over.
Yeah, this is an interesting call now that I think about it. But I'm sure the thing is, bro, like I'm like
Chandler's a rookie.
Chandler's a rookie this year?
Chandler's a rookie this year, yeah.
Damn, really? I
Yeah,
feel like
he's a rookie.
Chandler's been around, but all right, respect. All right, so
Chandler's just a cool guy. That's why he fits the mold of the U well. So
Yeah,
that's
he's
why
real
you know.
chill. He's real chill.
Yeah,
so
he's a chill
it
dude.
feels like
So
he's
he
been
comes to
around.
the events. It's like, you've been here for a minute, and you know.
Who else?
Frank's. I think Frank is. No, I don't know if Frank's a rookie. I feel like Frank's
Fireman
been here for a
Frank?
minute. Yeah, I think he's been here for a minute.
Is Frank a rookie too?
Frank,
Damn,
are you a rookie? Come on, Frank. Somebody get. I know Frank is
kid-
excited about Raw on Netflix tonight, so he's probably. waiting
I'm
for that.
with you. I'm with you, Frank. Listen,
I am too.
and that's why we did y'all a favor, man. We
Is
started.
this why you
the show
said
at
7? You son of a bitch! You sly fella! You.
I figured I was like, yeah, we'll finish in enough time. I'll be able to cut it all halfway. I know you
What
want to
time is
see
it?
it
8?
too, brother.
Is it 8?
It starts at 8, but it's on Netflix, so I'm pretty sure we could catch up. No,
Yeah, of course. You
can watch from the
whatever you want,
beginning
yeah.
whenever
Of
we
course.
finish or whatever. But I figured, we
course.
start at 8 this way. We give our fans that a bit because listen, we know our fan base, okay? We know the community. We know that y'all watching, y'all want to get a little raw action on a Monday. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo, a little Raw action on a Monday. Here we
Hey.
go. David Douglas says Kyle Millet. He's a rookie? Is Millet
How's
a
a
rookie?
rookie?
I don't know. You guys are going to
This
have to.
went
I'm going to
from-
need. Rah-Rah's a rookie. I know
Rah-
that.
I'm not
I
gonna
know
lie
my
to
brother
you.
Rah-Rah's are. And you bet, I don't know. You might want to vote for Rah-Rah.
This went from a relatively unknown rookie class
Yes.
to like the most
good one.
stacked rookie class
Ah,
ever. Because like
I'm
if it's
telling you, you
real,
vote against Rah-Rah, you better be looking over your shoulder a bit, all
my
right?
brother, if we really talking Uncle Dom, Rah, Frank, Chandler, like that's wild. That's a tough rookie class.
That's a good group, man.
Listen.
Aiden is a rookie, says Tim. Yep, indeed. Aiden is a rookie. Got a lot of
Aiden
rookies
99,
here, man.
yes.
Aiden 99.
I see him in there.
You know what? No, Aiden's not a rookie. Aiden was with us at spring training this year. First time we met him. Yeah, okay, so
it
he's a rookie.
feels like
Feels
forever
like years
ago,
ago, bro.
But it was.
feels like it was years ago.
I
so.
told you when I was watching the recap, and I remember when you and Jira went live, you shouted me out for that. But bro, because some of those clips just felt like I was like 2024. There's no way.
Yeah.
Like, that
Yeah, it feels like
happened
it's
in
like
2022.
That's what I'm saying, man. It was such a great year this year, man. I'm
Such
so
a
excited
wild.
for what this year is gonna be, and hopefully, folks, fingers crossed, NYU may be at spring training again this year. So fingers crossed. We're working
right.
on something that hopefully we get this done. Shout out to the Thompsons. Mike and Ra are doing something. We're trying to work on something together with their father's foundation, who passed away as a hero on 9/11. We already did something there, but look, I'm very, very close with the Thompsons, so we're trying to make something work again where we can kind of really help each other out here. So that is the plan, and hopefully we get this done, and we will be at spring training this year because, damn, man, when I went over the 2024 video, the highlight video, and I went over spring training, I was like, bro, what clips do you cut? Because there's so many. Like, there was so many great moments in spring training. It was a great experience. I can't wait.
Yeah, spring training last year was a pleasant surprise, and not that like I went out there thinking like, yeah, like I don't know what to expect. This shit might be trash. Like, no, I knew it was gonna be fire. Like,
Of course.
whenever we linked up, like over the years, like me and you we always have a good time. Like, I can't remember one time where like we get together and it's like, oh yeah, well, that was kind of trash or whatever. Like, we
Never.
always have a good time.
Never,
But
yeah.
last year there were variables, right? Because like I had never, spent that time with Kev or, other people on the team stuff. Yeah, that was my first time meeting Los in person. And bro, like honestly, just I could not tell you just how pleasantly surprised I was. It was to the point where like just on some funny shit when it was like time for everybody to like start leaving and part in their separate ways. We all just like look at each other like, damn, man, this kind of sucks. Like we gotta leave now. Like
We're like, is this
everybody gotta
really
go back.
happening? Like, we really got to go back to like regular life after this amazing time we
Yeah.
had. But speaking of
This
amazing,
year it won't be that hard because right away,
like a week after, we'll be right back, and we'll
right
be
away, and
right
why
there.
you say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I'm saying we'll be like right there immediately, and that's it. But
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, we are still waiting for the New York Yankees to finish up their infield. It does look like, after some of the rumors that were out there today, it looks like the Yankees still do want to update their infield. And now you're hearing rumors about Luis Arraez. We're going to talk about him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There was also a rumor before he got traded today to the Cincinnati Reds that Gavin Lux was also a real possibility for the New York Yankees. He is now, though, a Cincinnati Red. There was rumors there a little bit by, what the hell is his name? Jim Bowden.
Oh,
Jim
Bowden.
Bowden, who I've said this a lot of times. No knock on him. I don't know if he even has a real source at all. I don't think, and again, I am not knocking him at all. I have never seen this guy get something right. I'm not joking. I'm not looking to knock him or anything. If I'm
And you know
wrong,
he has to know
I'm
people.
wrong.
You know,
of course,
because
he knows
he's a
people.
former GM, so he
Yeah,
he
of
knows
course.
some people.
But it's just
he
wild
says
to
it's
me
like,
because he
who are
says
those
so
people?
much, and it's like it never happens. Like it never fucking comes to the truth, reality, and life or anything. But
Yeah.
so where it is right now, as my good friend Mike Ament, who we met at spring training, by the way, been a follower since the Cincinnati Kitchen days, did the Rizzo shirt make it in the recap video? Let me tell you something. That Rizzo shirt was fire, by the way.
Yeah, man.
That Rizzo shirt was fire. It didn't make it into the recap, but it is in the vlog. It's an amazing part of the vlog, of course, the Rizzo shirt. Rocket Man says, arise, 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 arise. That is exactly who we are talking about. But right before we went live, Francis, this tweet came out.
Look at that.
Hearing, at least for now, Luis Arraez is not seen as a fit for the New York Yankees. And Francis, I tell you this right now, man.
Look
I'll
at
tell
John
you this.
Heyman.
I'll tell you this right now. These motherfuckers know we're going live, and they just try to shit on our parade.
I just like that. Look, and look, the haters will say it's coincidence, right? The haters will try to tell you and convince you that it's just a coinky dink, that nobody cares, nobody's really. But all season long, bro, all season long, whether it's right after a designated Spittaz or right before a designated Spittaz, or right, there's some stuff
Right
always
after.
seems to happen. It just seems to
unbelievable.
happen.
It's unbelievable.
Every time. And it seems to be in response to or like a prompt. So John Heyman with the tweet, kind of like a prompt to kind of set us off on DS tonight, brother. And hey, I listen, like I said, the haters will say it's fake. They say it's all in our heads.
Hey, you know what I'm gonna do though? You know what
I'm
I'm gonna do? Damn it! I'm sticking with Jeff Passan, damn it, because Passan said there's interest there.
gonna roll with Passan, and I'm gonna roll
rolling
with
with
Curry.
Passan.
Somebody said
Wait, Curry said the same thing?
No, CWE said if Curry don't say it, it's not fact.
Oh yeah. Curry's the closest to the Yankees. And
Yeah,
by the way,
Yankees.
too, I'm gonna shout out somebody else. Andy Martino also said that it's possible that they're talking. So apparently on
Martino's
SNY,
been-
he said it the same thing. And Andy Martino's pretty close with the Yanks, so he gets some good Yankee information, no doubt about it. So I don't know.
He's been in the inner sanctum, if you will, ever since he covered Cashman for the book and stuff like that. So and also this hasn't been like that off season, because Martino has had his off seasons where he's kind of just like flailing with Yankee.
Yeah, he's going all over the place. Yeah.
This hasn't been that off season for him though.
Correct.
I feel like he's been really
pretty solid.
decidedly more quiet this off season.
Yeah. He's been pretty solid across the board. Tim says only Heyman I listen to is the wise man, Paul Heyman. Oh, what a legend Paul Heyman is. Perry says people are talking about Luis's defense, but Soriano from 01-03 had 61 errors at second. I understand different hitters, but we loved Alfonso Soriano. And this is, look, man, he just led us right into the gist of our conversation is, look, this is the hot news right now. I am going to completely disregard John Heyman, and I'm going to go ahead and say that this is a possibility because it does feel like the New York Yankees are looking to get another infielder, whether it's a second baseman or third baseman. We don't know yet. Luis Arraez has played third. He has played second base. He has played a little bit of short. He's played first base. He's played some outfield. He's been all over the place. The big con on Luis Arraez, Francis, is he is not a good fielder. He's not great at second base. He's okay number-wise. He's been okay at third base, but nothing special.
Exactly.
You're really giving up defense for offense. And here's the Savant page, and it's a strange one, right? You see some Reds very, very high, and then you see some of the other stuff that a lot of people really tend to care about, and that's like hard hit percentage, exit velo, things of that nature. But the one thing you got to remember, when a guy puts the ball in play as much as Luis Arraez does, he's the type of hitter. This is the type of hitter he is. He's not going to smack the ball all over the place. He doesn't strike out.
in over 640 at-bats last year, he struck out less than 30 times, Pete.
And that's why that exit velo is going to be lower. He
I
puts the ball
mean,
in play.
for the chat, for those of you who might have just missed what I said, over 640 at-bats, he struck out less than 30 times.
Look at that.
I mean, that's people. I'm seeing, I'm seeing a lot of stuff, on the timeline, and I'm honestly, bro, like that was like probably like the biggest motivation where it was like, yo, bro, like I don't know how we're gonna do it because like I had the recital yesterday and everything. I was like, damn, so I won't be able to. But I was like, nah, man, we got to do this show. We got to do the show because it's like, bro, I've been like dying to get on here and to speak about this, to hear what your thoughts on him and stuff like that, because I feel like
I'm a simple baseball fan.
he's polarizing. I didn't think he would be this polarizing.
I mean, look, no, you're not wrong because Yankee fans been asking for him for 3 years.
Yeah.
Every time there's why do you and if people remember this, what have I been saying about Luis Arraez to the Yankees? I say I just don't believe it because there's never actually been like that legit connection. Every time he's available, the Yankees are absent.
Exactly.
Every time he's available.
When it was the Miami stuff, the Yankees were nowhere to be found. Right? Then the Minnesota, the Yankees were nowhere to be found. No. That's what people,
even
I
when the
saw somebody
Yankees were
today try
talking
to
to
say
Minnesota,
said no.
remember? It was about
Yeah.
it was about the starting pitcher was never
Yeah.
Luis Arraez involved at all. And it's been like nothing with him. So that's
No.
why I'm always like, I don't think that's a possibility.
It's always been Yankees fans throwing his name into it because of the Yankees maybe being in talks with a team that he's currently on.
Correct.
And we were the ones like when it was the talks with Miami, we were the ones who brought up his name like, whoa, well, I mean, this guy's a batting champ. He's a left-handed bat. Like, at the time, we were kind of bereft of left-handed hitting.
Yeah.
Going back, 3 years, whatever, 2-3 years. So we were like bereft of left-handed hitting, especially, the kind of balance that he provided. We're like, yeah, he makes a lot of sense. Yankees never never officially linked to the guy.
That's right.
Then there was the Minnesota stuff. He continues to do what he does, what he did with Miami. He continued to do the same thing.
Yeah.
He was doing the same thing, hitting for average, getting on base. Yeah, there's no pop. All right, look, I get it. I'm like when I see that argument on the timeline, like I've never been the guy arguing like, no, but he's a lefty, so he's gonna come here and he's gonna hit home runs. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Right, if that trade does get finalized, I'm not even gonna wait until that happens for me to say this. Don't expect a jump in slugging and stuff like that.
No.
I'm not calling for that. And I don't see that because he's not a guy who drives the ball like that to right field. He's not.
They even got it at Yankee Stadium. He only had 9 homers, so 5 more than what he had. I mean, you're not getting a Luis Arraez for that. As Rocket Man adds, F. John Heyman will truly know tonight as Yankee Hot Stove Show from Jack Curry. So when that comes on, I believe that's is that 8:00 maybe?
They have a hot stove
Maybe
show
that's
tonight?
I have no idea. I don't know if they actually do, but maybe they do have a hot stove tonight. But that
I
would
thought
be
there was
interesting.
a Nets game. There's a Nets game tonight, so I didn't expect.
Maybe
the
it's
hot
Wednesday and not tonight.
Yeah, somebody double check that because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there is a hot stove tonight.
Or maybe what he's saying is that when Curry says it on hot stove, they're saying it's Thursday, so there would be a hot stove show on Thursday. You'll likely hear about it if the deal's not done or the Yankees don't get an infielder. But I've heard a lot of the same that you've obviously heard when it comes to Luis Arraez, and it shocks me a little bit because I've had people say, well, if you're looking to trade for Arraez, why wouldn't you just keep Gleyber Torres? And I'm looking around going, they're not the same hitter. Like, for people sitting there going, no. I had somebody on Twitter say they're the same hitter. What do you got? He's a better hitter. Gleyber Torres is better than Luis Arraez. And I'm like,
yes.
What have you been smoking exactly? Look, that's like when people used to compare Derek Jeter to the other big shortstops when Miguel Tejada was hitting bombs and A-Rod was hitting for all this power. And everybody said, man, but Derek Jeter's not hitting 20 homers a year. And you look around and go, but that's not who he is. That's not his game. Not everybody's game is the same thing. A guy like Luis Arraez is everything that Yankee fans have been waiting. What have we talked about for years? Leadoff hitter. Who wouldn't want somebody that puts the damn ball in play the way that Francis said he does by his strikeouts per AB? I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of times. The ball's always going to be in play with this guy. The on-base percentage is usually sitting. Last year it was low, 346. He's usually closer to 400, 380. Is where he normally is. And now you're putting him into a situation where I don't know how you feel about this. I put the lineup out a little earlier. I'm going to throw it on the screen here. because that's
Oh, I
the
love
way
this
I would
graphic.
run it. This is
Love
the
this
way I would
graphic.
run it. Anybody sitting there going, Pete, but you got 2 lefties up top. Did we not learn our lesson last year? Don't give me this whole idea that put Aaron Judge back too. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear Aaron Judge batting second. I don't like it. We saw what him and Soto were able to do. And look, the one thing about Luis Arraez and Cody Bellinger is they both hit lefties.
Yes.
They both hit lefties pretty damn well. Arraez, Bell, and look, you could, again, folks, play around with this lineup however you like. I'm throwing what I think. I see people, I flip these. Flip whatever you like. I'm just throwing what the scenario of a possibility could be. I like the lefty-lefty. I like Aaron Judge batting third. He seemed to like it too, as he said he liked it.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of him protecting a guy like Cody Bellinger you're looking to get the most out of. I like this lineup right here. I'm going to tell you right now, fuck it. That is a World Series lineup. That's a World Series potential lineup. There's no denying that.
I agree. And when I look at this, when I look at that lineup, and when I look at, the people that bring up the whole thing of, well, maybe you slot Judge back too now because you don't have a talent like 22 coming back in 2025. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Maybe you don't have the talent in one ball player of 22 coming back in 2025. But what you do, if the Yankees are able to swing a trade for Luis Arraez, right? What you're doing now is replacing a large part of 22's production with 2 players, because you're replacing the on-base percentage through Arraez and you're replacing the pop through Bellinger. And that's why it's imperative that those 2 guys hit in front of Aaron Judge.
Bingo.
You're not going to get the most out of Cody Bellinger if you put him anywhere other than hitting directly.
I hate the idea of I hate that idea so much of Judge.
I'm with
second
you. I
and
think it's
Bellinger third.
stupid. I don't know.
hate
I don't know where it's coming from. I actually do know where it's coming from. All right, and I've coined the phrase of where it's coming from because over the last week or so, this epidemic has just gotten out of hand. It's ADS, and if you suffer from ADS, please give us a call. You guys know the voicemail number. We're here to help you if you're somebody that's suffering from analytics derangement syndrome, but you gotta stop. Okay, this has to stop. All right, this whole stuff. It's like
Didn't we see the formula last year? The only thing we were really missing was a really good leadoff hitter all year. But the formula of a good lefty followed by Aaron Judge is where it needs to be.
Yeah,
like you've seen it work. Like why would you divert away from that when it works already?
No, in their mind, there's only one lefty that it could work for,
and that's insane. That's ridiculous. He's not. Look, the players could change, but the formula in many ways should stay the same. And for me, look, Cody Bellinger's a guy that could pop 30 homers at Yankee Stadium. Why would you try to run away from that and let him protect Judge? Why? It just doesn't add up to me.
Maybe more than
you never know.
Maybe you're looking at 30, 35 just because of the fact that he's going to see pitches. Pitchers do not want look. Postseason be damned. We know what the postseason narrative is, and we've spoken about it ad nauseum here at NYU. You guys know we keep it real. All right, we're not going to lie to you. When it comes to October, all bets are off, and we need to put the lineup in a way that the best hitters, the hottest hitters, and the right hitters are where they need to be. But for the regular season, okay, there's not a pitcher on God's green earth that's going to tell you I'd rather pitch to Aaron Judge than any other person. All right. They just won't tell you that because in the regular season, he is it. He is the end all be all. He is the last guy that you want to see digging into a batter's box. All right. It doesn't matter. You're right-handed pitcher, left-handed pitcher, hard thrower, soft thrower. It doesn't matter. He eats every pitcher alive. So you don't want to face that guy. So whoever is you put to hit in front of him is going to see better pitches. Why? Because they're hoping that, look, I'll deal with this guy. I don't want to deal with the other guy. I'll deal with this guy. So we granted, Belly is not going to be 22. He's not.
No,
and
you can't expect him to be either.
Yeah, and that was the point I was going to make right now. Any fan that's sitting here with like a secret, quiet closet hope that like Cody Bellinger comes over here and kind of replicates that, listen, don't do it to yourself, okay? Because it's unfair to you as a fan. It's unfair to him as a player. It's unfair to the Yankees as a team. That guy is no longer here, all right? He wears orange and blue and not the good kind that the Knicks wear. I mean the other kind, all right? That being said, like Pete just said, that doesn't mean we defect from the formula that got us where we needed to go last season, okay?
Correct.
That's it. It's not rocket science. I mean, If the Yankees have Aaron Judge batting second on opening day, that's going to tell me a lot, and I'm not going to be pleased. That's all.
Yeah, I don't like it. I just don't like the idea of it at all. Rocket Man adds Arraez, the closest thing we got to Tony Gwynn in Major League Baseball right now. JXV says, what do you think of Ahmed Rosario? We've talked about Ahmed Rosario a lot. We're fans of him at the U. I think look, if a guy like Arraez is available, that's obviously your first route. I'd rather trade prospects and just spend the money because there's a big difference in caliber of hitter there. Danny says, whoever is saying Torres and Arraez are equal are delusional. Well, that's what Twitter and, the world, the fake world around there is very, very delusional in general. So
that's the point, though, right? This happens, and I'm pretty sure it happens in other fan bases too.
Of course.
But it's like, bro, I feel like every time like a topic of a player comes up, Yankees Twitter will create a narrative, and then like that's it. It's like this is the narrative, and that's it. There's no changing people's minds.
Well, that's high school.
No Discord. It's like the Luis Arraez name came up. Somebody came up with somebody brought up the narrative. He's a horrible defender. He'd be a mistake. He'd be the worst thing the Yankees could do. And then people just run with it. Like,
I definitely want to talk about that
Gleyber
part.
Torres. Why don't you just bring back Gleyber Torres? I saw the tweet that I responded to 4 or 5 days ago. And me and Kev had discourse about it on the timeline, obviously.
I remember. Yeah.
I could debate. I could debate with Kev. Why? Because like we're going back and forth. We're bringing facts or whatever. It's not like when you just speak to somebody, they're just like, nah, bro, he's a horrible defender. That's it. Like, don't be stupid, bro. It's like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The tweet that I responded to said that the same people, it was something like that. Like the same people who didn't want Gleyber Torres are now saying to get Arraez, and it doesn't make any sense because they're like the same or something like that.
They're not at all the same player. Like, not at all.
I'm sorry. Look, Kev's argument wasn't that they're the same player. Kev's argument was, in my opinion, if you were going to entertain getting a Luis Arraez, why not just keep a Gleyber Torres? Now, some people would say, well, of course, Arraez is a better hitter. That's why, whatever. But I think where Kev comes from is like, yes, Arraez is a better hitter. It's true. It's proven. Gleyber Torres is kind of the devil you know, and Arraez is the devil you don't. He hasn't been a Yankee, hasn't done it here yet. Gleyber Torres has already, so you do kind of know him. The money is similar, even though Arraez is going to probably make $2.5 to $3 million less than Gleyber this year. It's similar money, whatever. And then the defense, Gleyber's actually grades out slightly better than Luis Arraez. So yes, the way Kev spoke about it, yes, I get that. But again, when you talk to Francis Lee, you're talking to a guy who said, I wouldn't have been mad at Gleyber Torres coming back. I've been saying that since the season. During the season, I said, if they offered him a QO, I think he takes it, and I don't get too angry with it.
Oh, he would have. I think he would have 100%.
That's $6.5 million more than he got.
Yeah.
So, but then again, I know that I'm in the minority. A lot of people were well done with Gleyber Torres, and I would never argue with somebody, well, how could you be done with him? No, I understand why people would be done with him. I personally thought I could see a way where he could fit back in the fold. Now, where we are in the offseason, I think it's pretty clear how a Gleyber Torres would have fit back in the fold. The thing is, he's no longer out there. Sign a deal, 1 year, $15 million with Detroit. That's why his name doesn't make any sense in this argument to me right now. Well, why are we bringing him up? It's like when somebody brought up Correa, Pete, the post that
I've heard that a lot. Yeah, a lot of people bring up Carlos Correa.
But why? Is he available?
Not that we know of. I mean, there's been rumors, but nobody really knows for sure. And on top of that, the Yankees aren't going over 301, and he has a large contract coming with him. So that makes it tough. Johnny Almonte says, Pete, would you extend Cody if he has a good season? Let him have a good year first, and then we could definitely talk about that. But when it comes to the defense and Luis Arraez, I got a very, very simple solution for everybody. Francis, do you think that DJ LeMahieu is going to be moved?
Oh.
Like, if you had to guess right now. Or do you expect him to be on the team more than likely?
I expect him to be here, yeah.
Okay. You know what he could do really good?
DJ?
Mm-hmm.
Warm up a bench.
That and his defense is pretty solid.
Yes. He'd be a great defensive replacement.
Thank you.
That's where you're going, right? Late inning defensive replacement.
So if your concern is, oh my God, and I actually talked to a Padres fan today that watched him all year. And they said it's not that he doesn't make the routine plays. He does. He has trouble when he has to move a lot. His range isn't great. And when he has to make like a tough play on range, that's when he falters. That's when you kind of see the bad come out. But if it's a routine ground ball to him, he makes the plays. He makes the simple plays. The plays that become, I got to go to my left far, I got to go to my right far. Those are the ones where you get a little concerned about, where he has to go to the first base side of the ball. He picks it up, has to flip the second base. Those are the concerns that you'll have. But the easy plays he's gonna make. And let me tell you something, folks. Yankees are up 2-1, and he just made. He's up 7th. You could go to DJ LeMahieu and put him at second base. You can go to Oswaldo Cabrera and put him at second base. Yeah. You can go to Oswald Peraza, whatever the hell it might be, and put him at second base.
Or
that
Squid.
bat,
you brought the Squid back.
Or Squid. I mean, whoever the hell it's going to be. That bat, don't compare it. And I'm not knocking Gleyber. I actually, matter of fact, I think they're different players. I don't like comparing guys that just aren't comparable. For the Yankees lineup right now, would anybody say that Gleyber actually fits it better than Luis Arraez does? I don't think so. I think Luis Arraez is, matter of fact, somebody I disagree with a shit ton on Twitter. Cameron Maben was spot on. He was like, this is exactly what the Yankees need.
Exactly.
He said, forget the defense. This is exactly what they need. That's kind of where I am on this as Rican rug dealer. Okay, rug, not the rug. Okay.
Nah, as a
How would
Rican
your
rug
lineup
dealer.
look? Speaking of the lineup, I'll throw it up there again for you. But that's what I had. That's the lineup I had right there. If the Yankees get Luis Arraez, and look again, I am not taking anything away from anybody saying this is not a great defender. He's not. But the Yankees have DJ LeMahieu. You might as well make him do something. Let him be the late inning defensive replacement. Let him be that guy. Now, friends, I don't know this. You think the Yankees will put Arraez at third base? His numbers are slightly better defensively at third. I don't know if that's a real possibility. He hasn't played it as much.
So this is where I was hoping that we would take the conversation. Now, say that the trade is finalized. That is a conversation that I would love the Yankees front office and analytics nerds to actually use their expertise on, and to sit down and really game plan. Okay, we know that this guy's glove is a liability. We know that we just made this trade because we don't care necessarily about the glove as much as we do the bat in our lineup. Correct. So how do we best hide his glove to where he is not a detriment to us winning games? And I think if you sit down and you start to game plan it, maybe, just maybe, I'm not saying guaranteed because the game has to be played. You have to see it. Maybe there's a world where you hide him a lot better at third base. Where am I getting this? I'm not just talking out of my ass here. If you look at the numbers, defensively, he grades well below Gleyber did at second base. But if you compare his third base numbers, his numbers at third to Gleyber at second, they're almost the same.
Yeah, that's second base right there.
Yeah.
And there's third base right there. 585 innings at third base.
Yeah. So he's essentially like a Gleyber level, but third baseman. At second base, his numbers take a big hit. And if you compare them to Gleyber's, it looks really bad. Yeah. But again, for people that watch him, they'll tell you exactly what the Padres fan was telling Pete. The issue is not so much the glove. Like, he's not like booting. It's range. He doesn't have range. Correct. And whenever he has to move, then the glove becomes shaky because he's on the move now. He doesn't make those plays as well. When you put a guy at the hot corner, we know this. Reaction is everything. But reaction isn't so much range. It's just the speed in which you come to. So if his reaction is good enough to make plays at the hot corner, right? Where, yes, we will lose a little bit of range there for sure because Jazz is way more athletic, way more. So we lose the range a little bit. But again, they're selling us that Anthony Volpe is a Gold Glove shortstop. That's what they're telling us.
Correct.
So if he is that, right, and I'm not saying he's not, I'm saying that if the Yankees truly believe what they peddle us, that he is that, then he could make up for a little bit of those range deficiencies of Arraez on the left side of the infield. If Arraez can play average third base, the range issues on second, you're not going to have that with Jazz Chisholm because he'll cover that shit like nobody's business. He's a freaking cat. Like, he's not going to hit the range is not going to be a problem for Jazz at second. And we know that Jazz is likely going to be a better second baseman than the third baseman. I think he could end up being better, but he needs more reps at third. But if you put him at second, we already know what you're getting there. So is that something where the Yankees sit down, brainstorm, and say, look, would it be better to probably hide this guy next to the young kid that we have at shortstop with all the energy and athleticism?
The additional range. Anthony Volpe goes to his right very well.
Exactly. Or do we put him on the right side with aging Paul Goldschmidt, who, yes, is still a great defender at first base,
Yeah.
but 37 years old, and then you're putting a second baseman to his right that doesn't have good range. That to me sounds a little scarier than putting him next to Volpe at third base. People might say, "Oh, you're nuts" or whatever. But to me, the numbers back up kind of what we're saying, though. The numbers.
Yeah, no, it does. It definitely does.
Safer at third base than second. And Jazz, I don't know. I mean, the third base sample is so small. I don't think it's fair to even compare that.
I think I love Jazz at third base. Like
the arm,
you know,
yeah.
he grew on me a lot at third base. DJ Steele says hi, Pete, Chico, and everyone in the chat besides Big Gamer Dude. Okay.
Damn, okay.
Doesn't no love to Big Gamer Dude. Guys, again, get your tickets. November, my God, March 29th, NYU Day, Game 2. It might be Max Fried versus Nestor Cortez. I don't know, but it could very well be that. We'll see. We'll find out. It could be. I mean, it could be, Max Fried versus Nestor Cortez. So get your tickets today, guys. Audi Club. It is going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait for it. But we got over 600 in here, guys. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the U if you have not. We're closing in on 41,000 already, so thank you guys so much for that. But, third base, I could also see the Yankees looking at third base and going, we just added a big ground ball pitcher, a lefty. Carlos Rodon's a lefty. You got some lefties in there with hard grounders could be coming to third base often. Did we see enough out of Jazz Chisholm to make us believe we're comfortable with him being at third base all year long? Now, look, I understand everybody wants the best case scenario, and I get it. I do too. I would love for the Yankees to get a good hitter and a very good defender at third base, and they move Jazz to second, because now you're looking at that infield going, whoa, like this is a really good infield. And I know there's a lot of people that get mad at me when I say this, but it's one of the things to me that was actually attractive about Arenado. And I don't think Arenado's going to happen. I mean, look, I always said if it did, you got to move salaries. You can't just go ahead and take his salary and that's it. You got to get a fair ground to make a move but the glove is so good. So now you look around that infield and go, damn, we went from a team that was not, sound defensively to a team that should be very sound defensively. And that's a big difference. That's a big difference. Luis Arraez is just one of those players. And look, we just had it this year, so anybody talking shit about defense, what about Juan Soto? I didn't hear nobody talking about Soto.
We defended him.
Soto's a horrible defensive outfielder. He's not good. Well, I don't really want to say horrible because I don't believe that. I think he's slightly below average, if not average. Yankee Stadium right field, I think he's average. You put him in Citi Field in right field, I think he's going to be pretty bad. But that's because there's just a lot more room to cover. But at Yankee Stadium, I don't think it was bad. But look, were there plays that Soto could have made, Lesh? Of course. We all know. We saw it. There's no doubt about it. Bad routes, whatever it might be that you want to say. Got a good arm.
Yeah.
Misplayed, but we seen that.
He actually saved some plays with his arm sometimes.
He did. He saved some plays with his arms, threw a lot of runners out. But look, again, a guy like Luis Arraez, sometimes you do it's a double-edged sword. You got to simply go, hey, look, how much better do we think it makes his offense, and how badly does he really hurt us defensively? You got to figure it out.
Pete, also, this is one of the points that I brought up when I was talking with Kev on the timeline, that the way that the Yankees may be looking at it, and actually, no, I'm not even going to say maybe anymore, because with everything that's come out after me and Kev had that talk on the timeline, the fact that the Yankees were very interested in Gavin Lux and then now also have shown interest in Luis Arraez, it shows me that the Yankees are at a point in the offseason where they are probably telling themselves, we have improved defensively so much that we could survive a bad defender if the addition to the lineup is worth it. And it sounds crazy because like Kev was saying, Kev's point was, he's like, well, if their whole mantra this offseason has been, let's add run prevention, good defenders and stuff like that, why would they go after a guy like Arraez? Well, since then we saw that they were interested in Gavin Lux. He just got traded to the Reds, but they were interested in Gavin Lux. And now it's also come out that there is serious interest in Luis Arraez. So what does that tell you? Those are two guys who are not good defensively. Gavin Lux is not a good defender.
He's not a good defender at all.
Gavin Lux, if you wanted to make the argument Gavin Lux versus Gleyber Torres, I'll listen to that argument a lot more.
That I agree, because you're not getting one so much better than the other, and I'm happy you bring that up again. I just pulled this. There you go. This is last year. I
Yep.
mean, this is last year. And look, the WAR, okay, you could say, well, that has a little something to do with maybe Glaber being a little better defensively. But overall, like, what did Francis say? Homers, slugging, yeah, okay, you'd expect that. But look, Arraez still had a higher slugging percentage than Glaber Torres. I mean, this is not the same caliber of player, folks. It's just not. Offensively, they are not an equal. They're just not. You're talking about one of the premier leadoff hitters in the game by far. It's a big, big difference here.
No, and it just the whole disdain that you see people have for Arraez and the knocks that you see on it just speaks to the much bigger problem that we currently have in baseball that we've spoken about for years at this point, which is the devaluation of batting average. People don't respect batting average anime. They don't care.
You know who could have used it last year?
Yeah, I mean, if we're honest, we would have been dying to have a guy like that in the lineup last year who was just like automatic, like, yeah, he's getting on base. This guy's going to be on base. He's going to be out there. That's what we wanted. It's one of the things that we love so much about 22 is that he seemed like he just always found a way. Even when he was like, quote unquote, slumping, he was walking and getting on base.
Yep.
Now, what's the difference between a walk and a single? Not much, people. Not much. When I hear that argument that, oh, Arraez is a singles merchant, I'm like, okay, and? I don't care how you get on base.
Soto was a generational walker. He was bad, wasn't he? Third in MVP.
Yeah, what's the issue with that? Like, I think the biggest issue when people say that he's a singles merchant, what they're not saying is what they really care about. It's the fact that he doesn't hit home runs. That's people's problem. And
correct, because that's what a lot of analytics is who's more productive towards the overall score of a game. Yes, exit velo, driving the ball. Correct.
That's what it is.
Correct.
Pete said it
and
right
don't get me wrong, I understand
who's driving the ball. Yeah, of
but
course.
I've said this for years.
We're
it's
not
like
dumb.
if you remember, and let me get to this super chat here. I don't want to fall too far behind. Martin Perez says May 16th, can't wait to boo Soto in the Bronx. Yeah,
Damn.
man, that's I think right before that too is the Padres series. So Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado coming to Yankee Stadium. That's going to be absolutely crazy.
There's gonna be a lot of confident power in the Bronx. Oh no, I think
no doubt about it.
Don't we go to San Diego? Oh no, we went to San Diego.
No, I trust
year. Yes, no, you're right. You're right.
I know I'm right. I know the schedule right now. I made all the designs for game season, so I had that damn schedule pulled up right next to me. I had to do all that madness.
Yeah,
but I remember back when the analytic craze was going bananas over Joey Gallo, and why this is, by the way, this is not before New York. This was when he came to New York and was that off season, and he wasn't great. And everybody's like, "Wait a second, this is a great player. Hold on, That's when I found out about Baseball Savant. I had no idea what Savant was. I found out because of that off season with him. I remember people telling me this is when DJ LeMahieu was good, and he was an average hitter. He would hit for average.
Yeah.
And people said I'd rather have 9 Joey Gallos over 9 DJ LeMahieu's, and I said, "You're out your fucking mind. You're out your mind crazy." You'd rather have 9 Joey Gallos. You think it's going to be more productive than a guy that hits 320 and has a 350, 360 on base percentage? Every now and then at home? I mean, it's absolutely nuts. And it's the same type of thing that we're hearing now.
ADS. That's what it is.
It is. It 100% is. It makes, I'll be honest, I just think for some people, they don't even trust their own eyes. They need something to back it so they feel comfortable with coming out with an opinion. Well, here's why I say this.
It's much safer for you to come out with an opinion that's backed by the nerds because the nerds, we're living in Revenge of the Nerds. That's what this is now.
No doubt about it.
Society that we live in now, it's Revenge of the Nerds. You can't go against Fangraphs. You can't go against Savant. You can't go against the Pacoda projections.
Yeah, that looked real good last year, by the way.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it? And there's people that swear by this stuff, like this is the baseball Bible. And that's why every year, every offseason, you see teams unloading guys who have been lifetime scouts, lifetime coaches, and they throw them away like yesterday's news because they don't care about those guys' eyes anymore. They care about the young 20-year-old with the calculator. That's what's hot right now. That's what's in right now. That's why, according to them, this is why the Dodgers win. This is why Baltimore's good. This is why, and it's like, I mean, I could argue that all day, and I don't want to lose the show just on that. But it's like, bro, I think you need to have a balance of both. You need to have a balance of both.
But that's how you make a lineup. What happened to table setters? There's no such thing. Now people want Anthony Rizzo leading off.
No, they don't care
remember
about
that conversation?
You remember, but Pete, we saw it live in that freaking wild card game.
Yes,
the
100%.
Red Sox let off Kyle Schwarber, and we let off Rizzo, and we just looked at each other like, it's like we're in the twilight zone that these guys are
It's
leadoff
nuts.
hitters right now.
And
Like,
this is and people always go back to, why like for a manager to do that, I'm like, bro, you've completely sold in, or you're not involved at all with making a lineup, because that's not a baseball guy move. There's no baseball guy on planet Earth that will look at any roster you have and go, Anthony Rizzo's the best bet for leadoff. There's nobody that exists. That's a baseball mind that would make that move.
you talk about guys that run like they have Tim's on. And
Yeah.
they're saying to put them lead off because they're exit velo. The exit
I knew
velo.
some motherfuckers that could chase you down at some Tims.
Nah, listen. I mean, we from the Bronx. I know
That's
a
what I'm
couple people
saying.
that
I'm
can
like,
chase
bro,
you down
come
at
on,
some
man.
Tims, but
Come on, man. I did
Rizzo-
some sweet chin
Rizzo
music
wasn't
with
one
when
of
Tim's
them.
on. I tell you.
That I
That's
could
like
run it-
brass knuckles on the fist. He gets the sweet chin music with the bah! That's it. That's it.
Oh, man.
My brother Rod Thompson says,
Sir.
if Jazz is the better second baseman, wouldn't it be the Yankees' best interest to play Jazz there and let Arraez play third? It's kind of what we were talking about also. He has to be better than Odor, who played third base for the Yankees. He did. Didn't Odor play third base?
Odor he played a little bit of
I think he played a little bit of everywhere for the
other
Yankees.
side too. He played some third base. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Rookie.
Rara says, Arraez, he's a baby Soto in the infield. Well, get me a guy that can put the ball in play the way he does and get on base like he does, man. I like that. I like it a lot.
That's
Frank
the argument.
Cortez, that's the argument. Hi, guys. This is my third day as a member of NYYU. I ask, do you guys really think that the Yankees don't need to do more moves? What's up? He likes to do the quotations. My man loves the quotes. He loves Frank Cortez. Big
air
quote
quotes
guy.
Big air quotes guy. All right.
So
Frank.
here's my question. Should they make more moves? Yes. I
Yes.
think they should.
Yes. I 100% think that they need to make more moves, Frank. I don't know. I don't know if you heard. I don't think you've heard it from anywhere here. I mean, Christian and Sam the other day, same thing. We've all kind of been in lockstep with that. The Yankees are still kind of a couple moves away. If we're looking at this to really be a World Series roster, we feel like, Tim Hill probably should be back, and you need to add an infielder. And shit, if you can find a way to unload the Marcus Stroman contract and turn that into another bullpen piece or whatever, that would be great too. Like, yeah, there's to me, they're still about 2 to 3 moves away, but they're not major moves.
Yeah,
Would
they're not
Arraez
break
be
your
a-
back moves, or
No.
you're screwed if you don't make them.
No, and here's the thing. Arraez isn't a break your back move. Hey, yo, pause. It's not. Like, I don't know if people are looking at it like looking for the button.
Hey, yo.
Listen,
Lord.
Arraez is not. I was about to make it
You
worse.
gonna say it again? I was about to say he's about to do it again.
Arraez is not breaking anybody's back. I don't
He
know
ain't
what the
breaking
man is doing
backs
in his
out
free
there.
time. I don't know what he's doing in his free time. I don't want to speak on that man like that. I don't know. Okay, things go crazy. All right, maybe he went to Fox Sports 1 and we heard that things.
Oh,
go,
shit.
I don't know, but all I'm saying is, a move for Luis Arraez doesn't break the bank. It doesn't break the Yankees back. He has 1 year left, and then he hits free agency. The last year is an arbitration year, so his projected number in arbitration is around 12 and a half, 13, something like that, which is why I said it's a couple million less than Glaber. And yeah, so he's not going to cost a ton in terms of like prospect capital or even money. Now, if you're able to send money over to offset some of that, then I see how it could work. I think where John Heyman came into the fold with his tweet was, well, Arraez makes, he's going to get like 12 and a half, 13, maybe even 14 in arbitration. So why would the Yankees be adding that? That will put them well over their self-imposed 301 cap. But I think what Heyman's not taking into consideration is that if they are even entertaining talks with the Padres for Luis Arraez, they have to know that they're going to be moving money elsewhere.
Correct. Yeah, they got to know that something is lining up.
Yeah.
For them to be able to do that. I agree 100%. David says, if you guys had to pick one, what would you do to find a third baseman or a second baseman? I would love a good third baseman. I'd love a good third baseman. And I've kind of been sold a bit. If you guys remember going back, I was a big fan of Jazz at third. I'm like, look, the arm is so damn good at third base that I would leave him there. I believe he could play it. He's so athletic. There's no doubt in my mind he could be a good third baseman. I believe in him on that. But now that I think about it, like that range could be utilized at second base. You got a Gold Glover at first base in Goldie. If you could get a good third baseman, look, I'll be honest with you guys too. I'd be okay with either one. There's just not a shit ton out there in the market right now that you know of. And that's why Arraez is even more attractive to most people, because I mean, at least where my mindset has been is that something spectacular would have to happen for the Yankees to get like somebody you go, damn. I thought it would be more along the lines of a small minor trade, a smaller deal, maybe a free agent that's only going to get $2 million. The Yankees bring him in. And then they end up maybe trying to sell us on LeMahieu because he had a decent spring. That's what I was setting my mind up for. But when you hear the name Luis Arraez, yeah, you do get a little excited. You go, damn, I mean, now let's start messing around with this lineup. How deadly could it be? It could be phenomenal. So that's why I think everybody's kind of excited about that being a possibility. But third base or second base, it really wouldn't matter that much to me. Big Rich says, hey, Pete, how about a trade for Michael Massey? I like Michael Massey. Again, not the sexiest name, young guy, but I don't see Kansas City moving off him just yet.
I was going to say, is Kansas City in the business of moving young, controllable talent? I don't see that.
Not really. That's not something they do, especially with a team that went to the postseason and played pretty damn well. So they're trying to build upon that team.
They spent some money. They've been spending some money. Why would I don't think they're trading their young, controllable talent when they're adding right now actively.
Yep.
They're supposed to be better in 2025.
Facts. And Guy La Source says they can't get both defense. They solved the on-base percentage. It definitely helps. And the Rocco says, choose one to fill the void at second or third. Prime A-Rod or prime Cano. A-Rod all day. You don't. I love Cano. Cano's a fucking animal. I love everybody
Cano.
Knows how much I love. My favorite player growing up was Robbie Cano. Jeter and then Cano. And let me tell you something, man. I'm really missing too much on that one. But A-Rod in his prime, you thought Soto was good. Go look at A-Rod's prime. And there's just a complete different level of a ball player.
His first 6 years make 6 years look very pedestrian. I'm just gonna put it like that.
100%. A-Rod was phenomenal. A-Rod is a true phenom. The guy's amazing. Yeah. Jake says, "Bring me Spencer Steer." He's talking about the Cincinnati. Is Spencer Steer an outfielder? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
Is he an outfielder?
No, I don't think. No. I think he's I think he's an infielder. He is an infielder. Let me see. Spencer Steer.
Yeah,
no, he is an outfielder. Third base?
I got him at third base.
I got him at left field. Or maybe he moves all around. He probably moves all around, but
he's got him at left.
Didn't have a great year.
Who's on first?
Pulls the ball a lot, but could be an option. Who the hell knows? Ludi says he's hit 370 with a 400+ on base percentage at leadoff. He wants to. I don't know if he finished the end of that there, but I feel you. I think he's an excellent leadoff hitter, Luis Arraez. Arraez with us on a walkout year easily bats 350, and he doesn't even have to do that. I mean, he doesn't even have to do that. If he hits 300, over 300 for the Yankees, and you got maybe Bellinger and Judge behind him along with the rest of his lineup, Jason Dominguez maybe hitting 8th, Wells hitting 7th. By the way, if you look at that lineup I love the 7, 8, and 9. Wells, Dominguez, Volpe. I mean, that could be a real threat. That could be a super threat. Kyle Malay says, "Hey, Pete and Francis, hope y'all are doing good. Just an update. I found a job I like. Look at that.
There you go.
I made almost $200 shopping for people today. Gonna do it for a while. Only bad part is I use my car. Hey, brother, it's all good. But look, fam. Let me tell you something, Kyle Malay. I told you, one door closes, another one opens. And like I said, you're going to find something you like a lot more. And I hope you continue on with it, my friend.
Yes, sir. Congratulations, Kyle Malay. NYY community member. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta be in the
Kyle,
community,
by the way, are you a rookie this year? Is this your first year?
Oh, yeah. Let us know, Kyle. They said you was a rookie.
They said you were a rookie, Kyle. Let us know in the chat if you are a rookie. Again, guys, community awards coming out here very damn soon. I can't wait for it.
Yeah,
S-Man says Arraez hits 35 home runs at Yankee Stadium. No, he doesn't. No.
if he hit 15, I'd be shocked.
I'd be out of my mind shocked. I mean, if you look at his Avant page, they only got him hitting 9 at Yankee Stadium.
And again, people, like I said, one of the things they brought up with the comparisons and the Glaber stuff or whatever, one of the things that I've always felt like went to Glaber's detriment is that he focused a little too much on trying to be that power threat in a lineup where you weren't expected to be that guy. I think
Right.
Luis Arraez is a guy that shows up with the understanding that the Yankees didn't bring me here because they want me to hit home runs like Aaron Judge. They know that I'm not Aaron Judge. They know that I'm not Giancarlo. I'm not Paul Goldschmidt. I'm not Cody Bellinger. They're not expecting that. They know I'm not Jazz Chisholm. They don't expect that from me. What they do expect from me is to not strike out, to see pitches, and to end up on base 4 out of 10 times. And I think that's an understanding that Gleyber Torres would do very well to understand a little bit better for himself. Now he's gone. He's on the Detroit Tigers, and they probably want something different for him over there. But what the Yankees needed from Gleyber wasn't so much 25, 30 home runs, believe it or not. Now, people will argue you down about that. They love to argue about that. No, but that's what he was projected to do. He was supposed to be that. No, he wasn't. He didn't have to. 2019,
Fuck your projections. Bullshit.
2019 completely changed the trajectory of Glaber's career because of the juice ball. People started looking at him like this heavy slugging to whatever. And it's like, he didn't have to be that in a lineup that featured the Twin Towers and freaking Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. He never had to be that guy. What I love about an Arraez is that he knows that, man. He knows that.
He don't change his game though.
Yeah. Bro, he would come over here, slide in the leadoff spot, and already know what the hell he's here to do. He's not going to try to hit home runs. He's not going to try to change his swing because of the short porch. He's like, no, that's not what they traded me for.
Yep. His job, let me look something up real quick because I don't know how many he's had before, but to me, so if he was coming over to my club and I knew the situation of our lineup, as Chris Silva says, Dímelo, Platano, Pete, and Abuela Loving Francis. What's up, fam? How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
I'll say this, right? Look, man, this is very simple. You come to my New York Yankees, I'll say this. Hey, look, Luis, I got your stats pulled up on the screen there. You see your stats, your career stats? So I have a big goal for you this year. And it's really, really simple, actually. It's going to be very, very easy, I believe, for you to achieve with this lineup. You have never had a year with 100 runs scored. You're going to do it this year.
See, that's
all you do there is play your game. That's it. You have never had 100 runs scored. This is the year that you will get 100 runs scored. You got Cody Bellinger, Judge, Goldie, Stanton, Jazz, all those guys lined up behind you. Your job is that fucking foot, your left or your right foot, should be hitting home plate over 100 times this year. It's that simple.
He said, if you do your job on this team, home plate at Yankee Stadium is going to have a permanent imprint of your right foot.
Of your foot. Correct.
If you do your job.
That's it. That's it. Your right foot is going to be permanently implanted right there. That's it. Slim Lewis says, Arraez is super overrated. Yo, he flat out sucks on defense and doesn't walk much. He's a singles hitter who doesn't run fast. That's exactly what we just talked about.
Slim Lou, you are the quintessential Luis Arraez hater. What's up, Slim Lou? Happy New Year to you, brother.
It's unbelievable. I don't get people. So Luis
people hate
Arraez,
singles. They love walks, but they hate singles.
I don't understand it. He had 200 hits last year, but he's not. Well, you know, that just goes away. His two are these the same people that just again Juan Soto? He's a generational walker. He walks a lot. So Ichiro Suzuki sucked. Ichiro's a singles hitter. He was terrible. Derek Jeter was mainly a singles hitter. The majority of his career. He was the guy that had a lot of infield singles, little base hit drooper. But that was a knock on Jeter back in the day, remember?
Yes.
Oh, you can't compare him to these guys because he just bloops balls over the right field.
They said all he does is inside out balls into right center field.
To right field, that's it.
He's a singles merchant.
I forget when 200 getting 200 hits and batting above 300 is just a dead thing in baseball nowadays. You got a handful of players that hit 300.
They've changed the narrative completely, and that's it. People don't care about that no more. People care about they want a guy who can hit 250 and hit 25 home runs, and they say
I got to put that on the screen right there.
What?
Career on base percentage of 372. The hell with the lack of walks. Thank you.
It's like
every day, Scotty Wright, a fucking legend of the U.
Yeah, I don't see how there's even an argument with that. Like you're adding again. I think if the lineup was different, and I think, and I want people to understand me with that. If the Yankees lineup was currently constructed in a different way, and we didn't have Aaron Judge, and we didn't have Giancarlo Stanton, and we didn't have Paul Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger, guys who I know are good to hit the ball out of the ballpark a lot throughout the course of a season, then
Right.
yes, I would be saying, I don't know if we can afford to add a guy who's only going to hit singles. Like,
Correct.
we need guys to bring people in and stuff like that. We already have the guys who are going to be bringing
Francis,
people in.
This is the problem. Everybody, it's the same thing with Gallo. They look at the player, not the lineup he's entering.
Exactly.
That's the
Boom.
difference.
Bingo.
Let me tell you something.
Bingo.
People, but Luis Arraez, then he's slow. He ain't gonna have to hustle much when the ball's flying over outfielders' heads.
Exactly.
Trust me, he's gonna score on a double. The majority of an average runner will score on a double.
We didn't say he was going to slide into home. We said he was going to be stepping on it. He's going to be
That's what
standing
I
up.
like. It's bananas. How many times? Like I understand everybody wants to pencil and lump players together. No, you gotta look at it for the lineup. That's why when I see these things, what do I immediately do? I create a lineup. I think it's a fun thing to do. I like to have a visualization.
But it helps
okay.
you see what
And
you're
then
talking
Francis,
about.
exactly. I look over and I say, oh, 314 at the top. Oh, man. Cody Bellinger. Oh, my God. Aaron Judge. Holy shit. Stanton. Jazz, who I think hit 30 home runs as a Yankee. Goldie. Imagine if he has a decent year. And then that 7, 8, and 9 is like, whoa, what could they be? I mean, I look at this lineup and I go, you on speed? Well, you got it. Who's complaining about speed when you have it here? Power. You have it on base. You have it.
Jazz, Dominguez. That's speed. Cody Bellinger's not a long X either. Like, I think another thing that gets misconstrued a lot, because I saw this on the TL, right, from another publication that we ain't too friendly with, so I ain't saying their name on our platform. But they bring up the fact that he just doesn't have enough, he doesn't have as much value in today's game. My argument to that is value is subjective. Value is not just, it's not finite. It's not just this thing that's like, it is what it is and that's it. Like, your value is your value regardless of the team. That is bullshit, and that is not true. Value is subjective. There are players who are much more valuable depending where they are playing. I don't know how you can argue against that. You can't tell me that Luis Arraez doesn't have exponentially more value on a team like the Yankees that doesn't have a definitive leadoff hitter and somebody to be at the top that's going to hit over 300 and be on base all the time for the heavy hitters that follow him. You can't tell me that. You can't. Now, you could say, oh, like, does he have the same amount of value to a team like the Dodgers? No. Would it make sense for the Dodgers to make that trade and to send pieces over and add that money? No. Why? They have guys like Tommy Edman and stuff like that. They already have that. They already have that.
Exactly.
And besides, the top of their lineup is Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Now, Ohtani is a power threat. He slugs and everything, but he's also ridiculously fast. Yeah. He's fast as fuck. So he's a great person to have right there at the top of your lineup.
Correct.
Our aircraft carrier, our superstar is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is not slow, but he's not like a burner guy or whatever. That's not his thing. That's why you don't say, oh, just lead off Judge. We're not going to do that. Now, could Dominguez eventually find himself in that place? 1,000%. Yeah. 1,000. I think that's my hope as a fan is that ultimately Dominguez ends up being that guy who's like up there and he slugs like crazy and he hits, you know, for a decent average and has a great on base percentage, but also the speed is a ridiculous threat and you let him lead off. But right now, we're not there yet. So yes, value is subjective. And when you take his value and plug it into the lineup, as my brother so eloquently did, I don't know how you can't look at that and see how he has value here in the Bronx. I don't get it.
It's nuts to me. I don't understand that. I mean, do people want this to happen? Here's Brian Hoke. Could DJ LeMahieu answer some of the Yankees infield questions? Here's why they're not ruling it out.
Yeah, here's my answer. No.
That's what we want to do? Is this what we want to come back to? As Eric says, Pete, you think Mets trading for Vlad? That's why Pete isn't signed? No, I don't think they'll trade for Vlad right now. I don't think that's a possibility. I don't see for the Mets. I mean, you never know, but I don't think so. Slim Lewis says Ichiro and Jeter could run and play defense. Well, according to the same numbers you're looking at, Derek Jeter could not play defense. So I'm sorry, because you're looking at the same exact numbers that anybody else will look at to say Luis Arraez is a bad infielder. You're looking at the same numbers, and those same numbers would say Derek Jeter's a terrible infielder.
People want to argue. Let's argue. Let's look at it. I mean, there was
exactly, but you then can't change your balance. Your balance is what you're looking at. You're looking at the idea that his defensive run saved and all that's not good. He shows that you don't rate metrically as a good infielder. Well, then Derek Jeter's not a good infielder based on those same things. And I'm not saying I agree with this. I'm just saying, if you're going to talk about that and say, well, no, they're not the same. Well, actually, Ichiro's different. Let's look at infielders. Derek Jeter was apparently a very bad defensive infielder. I don't believe that. I like Derek Jeter.
According to the numbers that are king in today's game, Derek Jeter would have rated very bad defensively as a shortstop.
There's some people that say Derek Jeter never would have gotten called up.
I mean, and there's probably a shit ton of organizations where that would be true because of the numbers that people put the emphasis on today. Like, yeah, he didn't grade out well in those numbers. I mean, the Yankees, a lot of these things, it's fate, it's destiny, it's how these things work when you really, the scout who scouted Jeter, everything, like, we've all heard that story or whatever. Yeah. I mean, there's so much that has to go right for you to end up with a transcendent talent like Derek Jeter. But again, you also have to have foresight and vision, which is why I get so upset when I see certain scouts just being let go like that, because without scouts like that, we don't get Derek Jeter. We don't. I'm sorry, because if you just look at the numbers and the raw material, or you look at what he looked like when he first started playing professional ball after the Yankees drafted him, and most organizations would have been like, yeah, this kid don't got it.
Ain't it. Yeah, he ain't it. He ain't it. That's right. That's right.
So I don't know, man. It is what it is. Like I say, I'm not saying you need to do away with it completely, because I think that's also ignorant. It's the opposite extreme, because then you have the guys who are on the complete other side of it, like, get rid of the calculators completely, no laptops, no iPads, no, I don't even want a television set in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Whoa. Like, time out. There's a balance, is what I'm saying. There's a balance, and I think you need both. I think the proper organizations have both.
Yeah, I agree. David says, current Yankees lineup, who do you think can win a Gold Glove next year? I mean, you got to look. Anthony Volpe's back again. I think Anthony Volpe was very good last year defensively. He grew a lot on me as a defender. I know I kind of made jokes about his first Gold Glove, and I was like, I liked him a lot more last year as a defender. Goldie's great he's been very good at first base. I like Jazz. I think Jazz could be very special at second base. I think every single year Cody Bellinger is always a finalist. It seems like for an outfield spot. So now playing for the Yankees. Get some more eyes on him. Aaron Judge back and right. I think it makes sense too.
You know what
Slim
he does
Lewis, there? Yeah, Slim Lewis also adds, ultimately, it depends on who you trade for Arraez. Would you trade to Martian or Jones for him? That would be horrible. Much respect to y'all. I don't think you'd have to. And can I say something real quick?
Not at all.
You ready for this take? This is going to be a great take. It's been a great take. Here it goes. Spencer Jones is going to be the breakout prospect for the Yankees this year. And he's going to regain all his value plus. Francis, when I spoke with Los and I saw what he's done to his swing and the changes he made to his swing, when he's developed the stride of Judge, just a simple leg up and sit down when the pitch is incoming. Oh, I think Spencer Jones is going to be a fucking animal this year. That's going to help him so much on his timing. That should also help with the strikeout percentage going down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think that's gonna mean a lot. There was too much stuff going on. Like you mentioned, there's a little movement up top, a little still.
Still just a little, but not as much as last year.
But it's not as much. And there's actually evidence already of what you could see over his final, I forgot how many games it was, but when he implemented the stride, not the toe tap, just a simple lift and sit. When he implemented that, he had some of the best numbers he had all year. I think Spencer Jones is going to have a mammoth season next year. Rara says if we get him, we just get him a big glove. Yeah, just put a big glove on his hand. That'll solve that damn shit for him. Rocket Man says, but Jeter is the GOAT of all shortstops. Nobody's. I'm not coming at Derek Jeter. I know a lot of people want to hear me wrong. Go, Pete said this. All Pete's saying is if you're going to use metrics and analytics, don't come at me and then say, well, Luis Arraez is bad and Derek Jeter was great defensively. No, he wasn't. Not based on what your analytic numbers say. So according to those numbers, he was not at all. So that's all I'm saying. But I think we all agree that, look, best case scenario is the Yankees can find a very good defender and a good hitter. I think that's best case scenario. Does that exist out there right now? I don't know, unless you take a risk.
Yeah.
Unless you take like a major risk. I don't know.
But here, and again, because I even said this with Kev, like, it's like I'm kind of getting painted as like the guy who like wants Arraez or is like actively asking for the Yankees to trade for him. That's never been my stance.
I barely spoke about Luis Arraez. People know.
Yeah, no,
I
like
never believed it.
it's not been something that we covered really much at all this offseason because we just didn't see it as a possibility. But what I have been doing ever since the possibility has arisen, I've become a defender of the move. Like I don't understand where the vitriol comes from, where the disdain for a guy who's won 3 batting titles in the last 5 years. Like I'm sorry, but like I still value batting average, and I don't care what nerd, what analytics department, I don't care who it is, what coordinator is telling me that it doesn't matter. I disagree. And you're not going to, the same way I'm not going to change your mind that it doesn't matter, you're not going to change my mind that it does.
The best hitters in the planet disagree too, by the way.
I mean, it is what it is, right? When you look at legends of the game who speak about the game, but of course the nerds will tell you that they don't know what they're talking about.
I mean, the best hitter in baseball right now says batting average is king.
Exactly.
And that's Aaron Judge. So
also look at who the best baseball players of the last couple years have been, and look at their batting averages. We're not saying that it tells the full story, but somehow, some way, how does it always find its way to be a part of the story with all the great hitters?
Well, I always found it kind of crazy when some people would say that they take a guy that hits in the low 220s, but he hits a lot of homers and he has a decent on-base percentage, that a guy that's well-rounded that hits 320. I always found it nuts to me. And again, label, if your idea is, well, that's Unc Simonetti now, he's old school. Okay, well then, hey, look, I'll be happy to kick my feet up and be old school Pete. But I'll put my lineup against your lineup any day of the week then, because I'm sorry, it's not about, oh, I know ball. No, fuck that. To me, it's a rather simple thing. When you're a well-rounded player, I think you're going to be more productive. There's a lot of holes. There's a lot of risk in guys that hit in the low 200s. They strike out a lot. Like the whole, I don't want to keep bringing that up, but the whole Joey Gallo's a great player thing was nuts to me, because it was like you had all these people that were like, no, we got this tools and I love these tools and I'm gonna push these tools. And then he had regular people that was sitting there like, bro, he's not as good. You guys are acting like this is the best player in the league. He'll never be even an MVP candidate ever. No. Like this idea that Joey Gallo is really good, it was nuts. It was like, yeah, well, what happened to Joey Gallo shouldn't surprise anybody. That shouldn't shock anyone.
It didn't shock us. It didn't surprise us, especially when you had the tip early that there's some questions about up here.
Yeah. Then that offseason, I was like, get rid of him, move him now.
And everybody was like, what are you talking about? He only played half a year. This guy hits the ball really hard. Da, 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 da. But again, my issue is, and this is my biggest issue with the other side, is they never take accountability either. And that's all these weasels, like, bro, they're out there arguing people down, calling people names. They're like the real bullies of today. Like I said, we're living in Revenge of the Nerds. These are the real bullies today.
Until they see you in person.
They, of course, then they can't even look you in the eye. But
then they shit their underpants.
They will bully people with baseball savant and fan, all these numbers, and number you to death. But then when they're wrong, they go into hiding, they disappear, and then they just start talking about the next thing. They never take accountability, and that's the thing that gets me, because it's like, bro, I will have a take. I could be wrong about the take. I'm the first person to come on here and be like, yo, I said it all the time long. Here. I was like, bro. I predicted that Glaber was going to have one of his best seasons as a Yankee. I was wrong. I mean, if I went and just freaking searched our content from last year, I would find me saying that like 50 different times.
Yeah,
I was wrong about Glaber. I was wrong. I said it so many times, bro. Why? Because I like owning up to my mistakes. Why? Because when I get it right, I'm going to fucking be loud about that shit too. But you can't just do it one way. And I feel like that's all we ever get. We heard all that fucking stuff with Gallo. And then it didn't work, and we didn't hear nothing. It was crickets. When Gallo didn't work.
We're gonna miss. I mean, there's gonna be takes that we make that end up being incorrect.
What do you say it all the time?
It happens all the friggin' time. That's not an uncommon thing for anybody.
Baseball's one of the hardest games to predict. It's
by far. It's the hardest game to predict, in my opinion. It's 162 games. You never know what happens. How many years, every single year, there's somebody that comes out of nowhere who goes, I never expected that. Well, obviously, that's baseball.
It's true.
David says, with some free agents still out there, any chance something falls into the Yankees area? If you had to pick one, who would it be? Hypothetically, of course. For me, it's fucking Bregman. I'm sorry. If somebody falls, and I guess what you're saying there is that it almost falls that it's too good to be true for the Yankees and they got to make a move on it. Out of the free agents available that are left, yeah, I would honestly say Bregman, because he is look, even if Bregman hit 260, if he's able to hit 260 for the Yankees, be a leadoff guy, play great defense, yeah, I think he makes the Yankees a much better team. And maybe, like you're saying, is that like a 1-year deal, maybe a short 2-year deal, 3-year deal with an option after year 1? I don't know. Maybe, but yeah, if I had to pick somebody, he's the guy I would go to.
I am 100% in lockstep with you. I think I'll tell you right now, like if I was a Detroit Tigers fan or a New York Mets fan, and I bring up those two fan bases because those are two of the teams that have been, more so heavily linked to Bregman over the last month or so, or 6 weeks, if you will. If I was a fan of either one of those teams, I'd be pretty nervous in regards to Alex Bregman, because it's like it's been 6 weeks, it's been forever, and we've been linked to the guy. And there's been, talks and talks and talks and more talks and more talks. And we've done this move and that move, but this motherfucker still hasn't signed. And it's just like, what's the deal? Like, what's he waiting for? Like, what are we not offering? What are we not doing? What's the issue here? And if I'm a Yankees fan, which I am, I start to feel like not freaking getting my hopes up all the way 95%, nothing crazy like that. But I am starting to warm up to the possibility. I will repeat that for the ones in the back of the classroom. I am starting to warm up to the possibility that Alex Bregman just may fall to the Yankees, because for whatever reason, maybe he wants to be here and he's trying to figure out a way to make that work. Yeah. And maybe he's trying to see if the Yankees are able to move some money around or whatever. Maybe that's what this conversation was. Maybe the conversation that they had was, hey, you're a great talent. We'd love to have you here. The money right now doesn't really make sense for us. I mean, if we're able to move some things around and you're still out there, we'll re-engage. Who the hell knows? I don't know anything. I'm just saying. But yeah, bro, if that shit was to happen, A+ offseason in my book.
Oh, that would be phenomenal.
Even with the questions about Bregman.
Of course. Of course. Absolutely. Batting average, on base percentage, table setters. Salute the you. You already know it, my brother. You already know it. I do want to bring up one more name before we sign off here, because you didn't mention the Tigers, and this could be a possibility, as Frank Cortez also adds in. Guys, I've heard the Yankees are willing to trade Dominguez and Cabrera in exchange for Correa so he can play third base. I have not heard that, and I do not believe that. With that amount of money, Brian Cashman is kind of known for that too. With that amount of money, he's not going to give you a top prospect. I don't see that potentially happening. If they wanted to move Carlos Correa, I don't think you see a top prospect going to Minnesota. I think the Yankees would do maybe more mid-level guys. I don't see the Yankees doing something like that, as Jeff J has gifted 5 memberships.
Thank you for being a friend.
Gabagool. But real quick here, I wanted to bring up one more name, because there is the rumor Bregman potentially to the Tigers. And the Tigers got a player that could fit the Yankees pretty well. That's Matt Vierling, who is a outfielder and a third baseman. You look at his numbers last year, had a pretty solid year, 257 average, 312 on base percentage, pretty low there, but 16 bombs in 518 at bats, a 735 OPS, and he's also a pretty damn good defender. So could be an option for the Yankees. 28 years young, could make a little bit of sense. Savant Page looks pretty nice. There's some good there. Nothing overly sexy, I would say, but if something like that were to happen and the Yankees could pull off a trade, I don't think that's something too many people would be overly upset about. But there's just not much out there, man. There's finally the Yoan Moncada rumors out there with the White Sox again, and the Chicago Cubs also looking at him. I believe there was another team involved. I forgot who it was. But I keep going back to that, man. I've always liked Yoan Moncada. I don't know if there's something up in his head that isn't too well, or what it could necessarily be, but maybe on a team like New York, having these prospects around him, he could, these type of players, I should say, around, not prospects, but the type of players around him, I think he could be pretty decent.
I'm with you. I'm with you there. We spoke about that.
Risky. It's a risky move, but why the hell
there's a
not?
risk.
If it's gonna be DJ LeMahieu a risk, I'll take a risk. I'll
At
try a
that,
risk
but
first.
Here's the stage that we are at in the offseason, though. Like whatever move that we make is potentially a risk. Where
Facts, very true.
the sure thing
Very true.
period of the offseason has been done for a long time.
Right.
Everything is this is why Pete Alonso doesn't have a contract yet. This is why Alex Bregman doesn't have a contract yet. This is why Yohan Moncada is still out there. This is why Ha-Seong Kim, who's a guy that I wanted to bring up really quickly, not to do a deep dive on, but because there's risk involved. Jurickson Profar, another guy, right?
Yeah.
There's risk. There's risk.
Good players. These are pretty good players too.
Yeah, these are all good. I think every name that we just said, these are all good players. Even Moncada, when you say, oh, he hasn't been good or whatever. Yeah. Potential wise, though, this guy's an animal. He has the potential to be a monster, complete
I
monster.
think he just reminds me of one of those guys that on the right team,
yes,
I think he could fit in and kind of hide in the lineup and put up some surprising numbers. Like you look back, and go, damn, this deal's worked out well. Like he's having a good year.
I think he needs to be somewhere where he's motivated. I think he needs to be somewhere with a strong manager. I think he needs to be somewhere with a good core. A team that would scare me if they were able to if they just snuck in and like out of nowhere under the radar did it, is a team that he's familiar with in the Red Sox. I think if he went
Boston, yeah.
If he went up there with Alex Cora and Cora got to talking to him, motivating him, working with him, putting him around the right guys and stuff like that, he could be a problem. I really think that. I think Pete's right there. Like setting is important. As much as people want to tell you that,
For certain players, it definitely is.
They say grown men don't need coaching and all that stuff or whatever.
That's bullshit. We all do.
I don't think it's true for every player. I think it's true for. I think it's true for some guys. Like,
of course,
when I look at Aaron Judge, or I look at Freddie Freeman, or I look at like Mookie Betts. So like these guys are leaders. They're ballers. Like they wake up in the morning and like Pete, you don't have to tell them like, yo man, eat right, go work out, you don't got to tell them. Like
right.
They're built different. Like that's who they are. They have like an internal coach. It's their mind. It's their drive. It's their will. That's their coach. But a lot of players still need some of these guys are young. They're in their 20s. Like they're not. Yes, physically, like they're grown, but like up here, they're not yet. And so they need coaching. They need to kind of still be reared in the right direction and stuff. So I don't get that when people say that. I think Moncada's a guy who could benefit from that. But I brought up Kim, and like I said, I don't want to do a deep dive there, but like, would you entertain Ha-Seong Kim at this stage? Like if the
Why
price
not? Yeah.
If the money was right.
Hey, look, I could say
available opening day, but
hey, I'll flip the switch on it. I'll flip the script. We said we'd take Luis Arraez because the offense is so much better than the defense. Well, I'll take Kim because the defense is so much better than the offense.
It's true.
So I'll take one of the two. I'm not expecting him or anybody else that comes at this point now to be this game changer offensively.
He can lead off too.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you were to get a guy like him and to go, look, at least we know what. We know he's going to feel this position.
Yes.
Fine. And I don't see DJ LeMahieu playing at the Yankees trying to sell us on that. Fine. I'm okay with that. You could bring him on board. I have no issue with that. And look, the Yankees, by the way, I think you need to hit the Asian market a little bit, to be quite honest with you. So that could... no, I'm dead serious. The Asian market has always been pretty well with the New York Yankees, and it's New York. I'm a big fan of that stuff. I am.
No, you're right.
It's good. It's good for business. I'm trying to help the Yankees out on the bottom line here. There's a lot of stuff. I think he's Korean, right? Kim's Korean.
He's Korean.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a ton of Koreans in New York. That's a great opportunity for the New York Yankees. You're not going to pay a lot of money for him. And guess what? You know he's going to defend. So, okay, if the bat hits 230, whatever it might be, is he fielding his position very well? Okay, no problem. Sign me up.
Hey, listen, speaking of Asian market, we're like 2 weeks away from figuring out the decision from Roki.
Yeah. A Roki decision is incoming, man. So that's going to be really interesting. Again, I'm not going to ever get anybody's hopes up here and say I think the Yankees have a shot. I don't believe the Yankees have a shot, to be honest with you. I am good. If that happens, I'm going fucking live and I'm just partying here. I'm going bananas because
you got to pop champagne or something.
Oh, you got to do something, bro. You got to do something. I got to get some warm sake.
We got to tell Jordan to add sake to the menu at Legacy.
Add sake to the menu just in case, because I want to have some sake and sit down and go live for a while and sip on some sake and enjoy myself. That's what I'm gonna do.
That reminds. Do you guys like hibachi? I never. I love for the chat. You guys know, but I love running.
Picky. But
I love running ideas by like Pete and Jira because
Jira's
like,
picky.
picky about food. But I will say,
I like
she
Bocce.
doesn't miss. She just doesn't.
No, she's
like,
good with the run. When she picks spots, it's usually
When
good.
we're
It's never been a
together
bad
and
one.
she's picking spots, like she just doesn't miss. So she could be picky, but it doesn't matter because like we've never had a bad meal together.
No, we
And
haven't.
when we almost did, we left the place. So I wanted to ask.
And there was almost a riot after that.
Yeah, we almost started a riot.
Almost started a riot.
But
We
no,
almost
but
didn't. We almost didn't make it out of fucking Jersey.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's crazy. We gotta have somebody looking out for us, man, because that could have been the end of NYU right there.
100%, no doubt about it.
But so do you guys like hibachi?
I do. I don't know if she's not that big of a fan, but I think she will like it. I think she will like it.
She said I didn't like that place from the beginning. She had a
She
feeling about that
She
place.
had a feeling, yeah. Once
She
we
did.
walked in, we were like, and then Jira did her thing, and it was got a little wild out there. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are following us on Instagram. Again, the lovely, wonderful fiance, the MVP, is working very, very hard on the Instagram. Doing a great job already. So keep showing support over there, guys. And of course, now's the time that we have to start talking about this, man. NYU Day is right around the corner. Legitimately, guys, get
Crazy,
your friggin'
right?
tickets.
It's crazy.
It is right there. Get your tickets, folks. We need you.
Yep.
We need you. Look at my brother, Rah, yo. Next time, call me. You'll come out of anywhere in Jersey. Facts, Pete. I fucking love this dude. That's my brother. That's my brother, man. That's my brother. Rah's my brother, fam.
Rah,
I got you, fam.
We know that now.
You
now,
know I got you. Oh, matter of fact, wait something here. I double check something. Oh, I got it. Still good. Thank God. I'll DM you. I'll DM you about something anyway. But
there you go.
with that being said, folks, we're gonna wrap this show up. It's been so much friggin' fun hanging out with you guys today on a Monday. I'm happy Francis moved it to Monday. I feel like we have more news to discuss and talk about. So get your tickets to NYU Day, folks.
Yes, sir.
The link is right there. Get your tickets today. You don't want to miss it. Telling you, the first time you go to this event, you're never going to want to miss one. I promise this to everybody, and I typically see you back next time. So make sure you get your tickets. It's going to be amazing. Francis, you want to take us out?
Yeah, man. Ain't no party like an NYU party.
Lord have
You saw
mercy.
his eyes as soon as I
I'm gonna
started.
come.
Nah, man. Listen, I'm so glad we ended up switching up to Monday, man. It's dope. I saw the numbers dwindle a little bit when Raw started. All right, because I know some of you degenerates, like, you can't have both things on
Where's
at the
Macho
same
at?
time.
Macho! Where
Come
you
on.
at? You're nominated for the MVP this year, damn
And
it.
that's
You
what
better
you're
be in
doing.
this chat.
And that's what you're doing. You get degeneration. You left us, but I know Raw's got a great card tonight. I'm gonna turn it on a few. So I thank you guys for being with us today, of course. And like I say all the time, man, keep it locked and stay tuned because this is the you, and the next episode will be the best episode.
And what did I say again? And we will never go whack on a designated Spittaz track. This is NYU Uncles, baby.
Designated uncles.
We getting up there, folks. Anyway. With that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace out, baby. Until next time, catch you guys later. Peace.
Then watch me do it again. Tell 'em I can't take no loss.